the girl who escaped the Kara Robinson story. Welcome to Flashback Recap. Hit subscribe and let's dive right in. Kara Robinson wakes up at her best friend's house. Today, the girls are going to the lake, but before that, Jess has to water the flowers and take a shower. Jess asks Kara to help her water the flowers so they can go to the lake faster. Kara leaves the house and starts watering the flowers. At this time, a car drives up to the house. A strange man gets out of the car and approaches the girl. The man takes out a gun and asks the girl if her parents are home. Kara, trying to remain calm, replies that she is staying at her friend's house. The man then asks Kara to follow his orders. He takes her to the car and forces her into a container. Jess finishes her shower and goes outside but cannot find Kara. Meanwhile, the man stops in a deserted place to tie up the girl. He goes to the trunk to get the rope, and at that moment, Kara runs away. She tries her best to escape, but the man shoots. Despite the danger, Kara decides to wait and obey the rules of the kidnapper. Meanwhile, Jess calls Kara's mom and says that Kara is missing. The man brings Kara to his home. He removes her gag and asks her to remain silent. The man takes Kara to his bedroom and starts asking questions. He asks for all the information about her family, after which he asks if she has a boyfriend. Kara, feeling scared, replies that her boyfriend's name is Ryan, but denies having any intimate relationship with him. After this, the man asks Kara to call him daddy, and again shows his gun. He asks the girl to lie on the bed. He sits down next to her and begins to take off his clothes. Meanwhile, Kara's mom calls her ex-husband and tells him that Kara is missing. The woman calls the police and asks them to start searching, but the policeman is sure that the girl simply ran away from home and will return soon. Kara's mother, however, is sure that her daughter would never do that. Kara decides to find out as much information as possible about her kidnapper. The man likes to talk about himself, and he promises the girl that in the end, he will let her go if she behaves well. Afterwards, he offers the girl a smoke, but she refuses. The man reminds her that she must follow all his orders. In the afternoon, they watch TV together. The girl notices cages with animals and asks permission to look at them. She asks the man if he works with animals, to which he replies that he works with compressors. Kara remembers all the information received. The man once again says that he will soon let her go home, but before that, he wants to watch a movie together. In the evening, Kara wants to go to the toilet and asks the man for permission. He allows her to go to the toilet but leaves the door open and watches the process. He also allows her to wash her hands, but only after she asks for permission. The man says he will cook dinner, but Kara doesn't want to eat. He gets angry at the girl and says that she must follow the rules. She says she can help with the cleaning while he prepares the food. The man allows Kara to sweep the floor. While cleaning, Kara goes to the refrigerator and tries to remember the dentist's phone number. She also notices the calendar and remembers the entries on it. The man just watches the girl sweep the floor and at the end asks her to take off her t-shirt. Meanwhile, Kara's mother came to the police station. She tries to explain to the sheriff that her daughter could not run away from home and asks to start a search, but the sheriff says that she shouldn't worry. He's sure that the girl will return home soon. The man and Kara sit back down on the couch. The man turns on the news and says that the police have not started searching. He says that her parents and friends don't care about her. Suddenly, the man becomes aggressive and orders the girl to get up and go to the bedroom. He says that he needs to make one call and she must climb into the container and not make any noise. He gags the girl and goes into another room, but Kara begins to panic and cannot breathe. The man returns and removes her gag. He says that if she screams, he will kill her. A few minutes later, the man returns to the room and tries to calm the girl down. He says that he also had panic attacks and understands what it's like. He gives Kara a pill and says it will help her calm down. At night, Kara notices a man opening a strange chest. "Time for bed." The man asks the girl to lie on the bed and not move. He chains her to the bed and goes to sleep. In the morning, Kara awakens first and promptly starts freeing her hands. After that, she rises and cautiously heads towards the exit. Carefully, she opens the door and dashes out onto the street. Spotting a passing car, Kara halts it and implores two men inside to drive her to the police station, urging them to remember the apartment number from which she fled. Upon arriving at the station, Kara informs the officer that she was kidnapped, stating her name and explaining how she managed to escape. Lieutenant Rowland inquires about the events, and the girl recounts how a stranger kidnapped her the day before, threatening her with a gun and subjecting her to abuse. Sergeant Jennings queries the two men who escorted the girl, but they can only recall the street where they found her, unable to provide the apartment number. Lieutenant Rowland informs Kara that her mother contacted the police 17 hours earlier. He contacts her mother and informs her that Kara has been located. The officer inquires if Kara recalls the location of the kidnapper's apartment. She replies that she doesn't remember but offers to revisit the area to jog her memory. Upon arrival, Kara struggles to identify the specific apartment among similar-looking buildings. The police stop a passing man and describe the suspect, but he mentions that many people in the area match that description. Upon exiting the car, Kara describes her kidnapper's apartment as having numerous animals and a large wolf poster on the wall. A bystander recognizes the description and provides the apartment number, prompting the police to proceed to the location. Meanwhile, Kara's mother arrives at the police station and voices her concerns about her daughter being taken to a crime scene. However, Kara returns and reassures her mother. The sheriff arrives at the suspect's apartment and orders an assault on the building, but the suspect manages to escape. Sergeant Jennings questions Kara about the man who abducted her. She reveals that he served in the Navy a few years ago and his wife is currently at Disneyland. Kara also mentions that the man has a pet parrot named Clyde and provides the name of his dentist and his phone number. She notes that he suffers from increased anxiety and regularly sees a psychiatrist. Kara impresses Sergeant Jennings with her ability to recall all the details she observed while cleaning. Following this, a doctor enters the room and Kara undergoes a gynecological examination. Meanwhile, the police discover women's clothing in a box, indicating that Kara was not the only victim. Flyers featuring a photograph of the suspect are distributed across the city. Sheriff Price arrives at the station where Kara's mother reported her missing. He reveals that a male suspect has kidnapped and killed several girls, and Kara was likely the next target. Upon arriving home, Kara is greeted by supportive neighbors, but she feels uncomfortable with the attention. Sergeant Jennings attempts to explain to Kara that she should not take offense, as the neighbors mean well. However, Kara, with her strong personality, refuses to see herself as a victim and does not want excessive attention. Kara informs her mother that she intends to visit Ryan in the evening, but her mother opposes the idea. Kara is frustrated, questioning why she should let the kidnapping dictate her life. She expresses her desire to live a normal life without fear, emphasizing her wish for an ordinary life. The suspect's wife visits the police station, claiming ignorance about her husband's whereabouts and expressing disbelief in his guilt. However, the suspect's sister arrives and informs the police that he recently contacted her and is currently in a hotel. The police swiftly move to arrest him. Meanwhile, Sheriff Steppen approaches Kara, but she is displeased to see him due to his initial reluctance to search for her. He warns her against being overly brave, as the suspect remains at large and may return for her. He informs her that the suspect had kidnapped several girls, all of whom had died. However, Kara remains unafraid and demands that the sheriff fulfill his duties. Meanwhile, Sheriff Price receives a report that the suspect has escaped from the hotel. However, the police are already tracking him and are close to apprehending him. Sheriff Price is astonished by Kara's bravery, not only for escaping the kidnapper, but also for aiding the police in locating him. Sheriff Price visits Kara's home and assures her that the suspect will soon be apprehended. He praises her courage, stating that she should not see herself as a victim, but as a hero. After their conversation, Kara intends to attend a baseball game to support her boyfriend, but her mother is reluctant to let her leave the house. Despite her mother's concerns, Kara insists on living a normal life, determined not to let the kidnapper take that away from her as well. She leaves home and goes to the baseball game. Meanwhile, the police locate the suspect. A chase ensues when he is spotted on the street. The police manage to apprehend him, but he tragically takes out a gun and shoots himself in the head. Kara arrives home and her mother avoids telling her about the recent events. The next morning, Kara becomes very angry when her mother finally discusses it. The sheriff arrives and apologizes for the delayed information. As a result, Kara no longer feels the need to testify in court, relieving her mother of that worry. The sheriff commends Kara's strength, expressing interest in recruiting her to join the police force. And this is where the film ends.